And I may have to change the grade on this margarita. I'm moving it up to a 9.
Oh my God, I thought you were gonna go lower. I was like, oh no, what happened?
That one sip, I'm like, woo.
This is Margaritas and Mortgages, and I'm Sydney Hahn, and today we have Shawn Waller with Serhant. Thanks, Shawn, for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Have you tried the margarita yet?
Not yet, not yet.
All right, well, let's start with the cheers. What are we cheersing to?
We started early, huh? Cheers.
What are we cheersing to?
Us being here.
Okay, I like that.
That's a good margarita.
You like it?
That's good.
Are you a big margarita fan?
I am a big margarita fan.
Okay, so rate me now.
Pressure. Pressure. That is, I give that an 8.5.
8.5?
8.5.
All right, what's missing?
I just can't give perfect 10s. So I have to give you an 8.5.
Okay, all right. Keep my head small?
Yeah.
I understand.
Exactly. You might end the series after this. I give you a 10, it might be over.
I know, someone might hire me, just make margaritas all day.
I'm telling you.
I wouldn't mind that life either.
No, I wouldn't mind anything.
So, you just moved to Serhant.
Just moved over to Serhant.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Are you excited?
Super excited. As you know, we've probably all watched Ryan on TV for years, right? And just to be affiliated with someone like that in a brokerage that's thinking next level, game changer.
Yeah. So you've been to his office and stuff?
Yeah.
You've met him in person?
Met him in person, cool guy.
All right.
It's the same way you see him on TV, the same way he is in person.
Yeah.
Just a little taller. I didn't think he was going to be as tall as he is. But
people always look shorter on film, I feel like.
I'm the opposite.
No, people just think you're really short when they see you on film.
Exactly.
No, but that's awesome. So how did that come about? What prompted the change?
Where
were you before? Let's start with that.
Signature Premier Properties.
Okay.
Before. Great brokerage as well here on Long Island.
Yeah.
What prompted me moving over is I got a DM one day that said you should come over and meet Michael Sadis, and I was like, yeah, let's do it.
All right, so you're easy.
That's what I've been told.
I'm just kidding, I'm joking. But okay, so you went and had the conversation, you liked what they had to say and what they had to offer, and so you thought, were you feeling a little bit stagnant in your career, or did you feel like you kind of needed to change? Like, were you already thinking that?
Yeah, I have issues with just sitting still too long, so I start to get a little antsy.
I can tell.
Yeah. Sitting here is like, they have this like safety, give me a safety belt to get in here. But I just felt like I needed a little change.
Yeah.
And said, why not go for it? They're more of a city brokerage.
Okay.
And you see those high-end listings. I was like, yeah, let me try to tap into that market a little bit.
Yeah. So that's what I want to talk to you a little bit about, because everyone that I've had on the show so far is born and bred Long Island's.
Okay.
They've never left. I was joking with someone the other day. I'm like, Long Islanders leave the island? They told me they were coming to the city for a night.
They usually don't, yeah.
But I've grown to really like the island, but you're not from?
I'm from South Jamaica Queens.
Okay.
Born and raised. I've lived on Long Island for the past 10 years.
All right. And what do you like better?
You put me on these are some hard questions. It depends when
you agreed to this.
I love Long Island because it's a lot quieter than where I'm from. But I do miss the city from time to time.
Yeah. Of course, you have more space and all that too.
But the hustle and bustle I miss sometimes of being in the city.
Yeah. I was thinking that last night, like, I ran to the grocery store 3 times yesterday. Okay. Because I kept forgetting stuff. But it's right across the street from my house.
Oh, that's convenient.
Literally, it faces me.
Okay.
So I just walk out my door and I'm at the grocery store.
You can't do that out here.
You can't do that. No. But you also can't drive anywhere in the city either. So
it's balanced, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're a dad to 2 cuties.
I'm a dad to two girls. Shout out to Zoe and Jordan. Married to my wife Stacy. She would kill me if I didn't shout her out too. She helped create the 2 little girls. I've been married for 8 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that made just a lot more sense for moving, like having the family and moving to the island.
Yes. Well, my wife grew up on Long Island.
Okay.
And prior to us getting married, she said if she ever had kids, we had to live in Long Island next to her mom. So
she told you that right up front.
Right up. Yeah. Before she even told me her last name, I knew where we were going to live.
So you have done a lot of business in the boroughs then?
Both.
Okay.
Surprisingly, I'm doing more business in Long Island, but I have a lot of people that are coming from the boroughs
Okay.
that are looking for that suburban lifestyle.
Where are those clients coming from? Are they just past friends, family members?
Mostly they're friends of clients. So I get a lot of referral business, and they're usually just referrals from past clients.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
They've been going further east.
yeah,
So they want more space.
more space, lower taxes, better price points.
Yep.
And honestly, I feel like if you're going to move on the island, you're probably not going to go in the city too much anyways, unless you work there.
Unless you work in the city.
So it doesn't really matter where you are
Definitely.
on the island, unless you have a commute.
Yeah. There are times
So-
I go to the city and I'm like, oh, that drive back home, just thinking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I do it every day, but well, not every day. I shouldn't say that. I have an office at home, so I work from home a lot.
Listen,
but
I admire that.
yeah, but I mean, I'm going the opposite way.
So
Because no
yeah.
one in the morning is coming out to Long Island, and no one at night is going back into the city.
Agreed.
So it's usually the opposite way,
Yeah.
so I don't hit too much traffic.
So that's not too bad.
It's not too bad.
It's like 40 minutes.
No, like 50 to an hour and 15, depending on traffic.
Okay.
So some days there is still traffic, so it just really depends.
Gives you time to
but-
sit and think, right?
Yeah.
When you wait
Well,
on
you know what I noticed? When I moved out to Brooklyn, I was never on the phone anymore because all the times I would be on the phone with my mom or friends from back home would be when I was in the car.
Yeah.
So then when I started working out on the island, it really gave me that time to like, there's nothing else to do. So like, I can just sit and have a conversation with someone.
Okay.
Because I'm a mover and shaker like you. So it's really hard for me to just like sit still. And so, you know, if I'm just home all day, I'm doing stuff, I'm getting stuff done, working, whatever. And in the car, I finally have that moment to either listen to a podcast or get on the phone with someone. So
Speaking of podcasts, have you listened to my podcast yet?
I have not, no. I wanted to ask you actually, not only about your podcast, but I saw something cool that you're doing, the newsletter.
Yes, I am putting out a newsletter. So that's just another form of marketing that I want
Okay.
to tap into, just to get in front of past clients, friends, people that may forget that you're in the business, even though you constantly tell them you're in the business.
Yeah.
So this is one of those touches that I want to give back. Plus, I want to start promoting small businesses on the newsletter. So that's my goal.
Okay.
Get a lot of small businesses in the area, even if they're out of town, to help promote their businesses. And it's kind of like, collaborative.
Yeah. I liked that because that's something I haven't seen anyone do.
Okay.
So it's like we're all trying all these different forms of social media, how to get in front of people, what's the best way now because so much has changed.
Yes.
Right? So you got to do it from a different standpoint, you know? That's why the podcast, the
Everything.
Instagram, the TikTok, everything.
I'm not good at TikTok yet. I'm not a TikToker.
I don't have a TikTok either.
I can't get the
But I
the
need
whole
to.
fancy thing.
I
can't
need
get
to
into
because
it.
I can just post everything I'm posting on Instagram on TikTok too.
It doesn't translate over as well. Like
But
you
you
can have something
can-
that's a hit on Instagram, and it'll be a dud on TikTok.
Yeah, but at least you have presence regardless,
That's true.
right?
That's true.
So, and then then you can get better at it and
Then you'll be
you can start
dancing
dancing.
I have 2 left feet. I'm not.
You have 2 left feet and you're camera shy?
Yeah.
I find that hard to believe.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm still getting over that hump. But the 2 left feet, I'm born with that.
Really?
I'll never get any rid
But
of.
you're a big music guy.
I'm a huge music guy.
Okay.
Huge 90s hip hop,
Yeah.
R&B. Like it's just embedded in me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
You have to meet my boyfriend.
Yeah.
You guys will get along really good.
He's a big hip hop guy.
Yeah.
All right.
He used to actually work for Cinematic in
Nice.
Brooklyn.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, so you guys will get along great. All your posts,
Yeah.
I always look which album's better because I don't know.
So I did the Dr. Dre one, and it
Yeah.
goes to show you the time difference that people in. So all the older people love the Chronic. The Chronic is the name of the
Yeah.
first album. They love the first one, and the younger crowd loved the last Chronic album. I was like, wow, it's a big difference. And the
Yeah.
poll came out 50-50 the
Yeah.
whole way through.
I honestly, in general, I like almost every genre of music. I think probably every genre of music. But for me, a lot of it is older music.
Yeah.
Everyone even here at Tilbury always says like,
Really?
Yeah.
Have an old soul?
Old soul. Yeah.
Same here.
Just
same
better.
Here. Yeah. It's funny because me and I got my camera guy Alexander here with me today. He listens to a lot of Frank Sinatra, and I listen to Frank Sinatra as well. And I don't.
Do you know Frank Sinatra is my favorite of all time?
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. See, learn something new every
Favorite
day.
of all time.
And I randomly stumbled on to Frank Sinatra.
Randomly.
I mean, I'm born in Queens, New York, but we don't listen to Frank Sinatra. One day I was coming from a club, and I don't know how it just randomly came on, and I was
Yeah.
like, this is kind of.
It's good.
Yeah, I had a few margaritas.
Yeah, you know what it is? It's the saxophone and all the instruments that make up jazz in general.
Yeah.
It's you can't beat it.
And speaking of
It's a
jazz,
vibe.
I have a famous cousin that was a jazz musician, Shawn Waller.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
that was my
Very cool.
grandfather's cousin.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, I used to play the saxophone
Did you? Yeah, you learned something new every day?
when I was younger. Probably not very good, but I've always loved it. Frank Sinatra's my favorite. My favorite memory is my family is from here originally. My mom's side, I guess I should say. So I came here probably visiting every year since I was 6 months old.
Okay.
And we would always go into the city. So one year we decided to do New Year's Eve in the city.
Ooh, only out of towners do that.
I know,
New Yorkers do not
but
go to Times
let me
Square.
tell you how great it was. So we didn't just go into Times Square. We paid for VIP tickets because, as you know, I'm sure, you go into Times Square, you have to be in by 2 p.m. You cannot leave.
You can't leave at
You
all,
have
yeah.
to go to the bathroom in your pants. It's a whole
is
thing.
so crazy.
With the VIP tickets, you could come in at any time. You had a table reservation at a restaurant in
really?
Times Square.
I didn't even know it was a
It's a sushi restaurant, but they serve like all sorts of different food. It's open food, open bar, DJ. It's kind of like a club vibe, but you have your own table and everything. And then around 11:30, they take you out to Times Square.
Okay.
You watch the ball drop, and then they bring you back inside, and you're in your own gated off area.
pretty cool, yeah.
Yeah, so it's perfect. But I heard horror stories. I didn't know if it was going to be worth it. And we saw the ball drop, and Frank Sinatra started playing.
Nice.
New York, New York,
Yeah.
or Welcome to New York, or whatever it's called, and the confetti started falling, and it was like the most magical moment.
Wow.
It was
Wow.
really cool. Highlight of my life for sure.
That's really dope. That's dope. I like
So
that.
I always suggest everyone, like, if you're gonna do it, you have to do it this way.
Yeah,
because-
that's the only way I would do it. Me sitting in that, whatever they make up down there from 2 o'clock to midnight, that wouldn't work for me.
Yeah, no.
No.
Have you ever heard of Rod Stewart?
Yes.
Okay, so that's where it started for me with jazz music. My mom would always play it, especially during the winter. He had like this album that was like a collection of famous songs that he's done over the years. I can't remember, but she would always play it, and it would be like raining outside, and we'd be in the car playing that, and that's where it like really started for me. But
Oh,
yeah,
nice,
Frank
nice.
Sinatra is my favorite.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Look, see, you got a lot in common.
We do.
And I may have to change the grade on this margarita. I'm moving it up to a 9.
Oh my God, I thought you were gonna go lower. I was like, oh no, what
No,
happened?
that one sip, I'm like, woo.
It's good, right?
That's good. That's good.
It's fresh squeezed juices, I tell everyone.
Okay, and these are actual real oranges.
Those are
and-
real
oh, I
oranges.
thought
We
they were
don't have fake.
props when I
We're
came.
not fake up in here.
I see. Big budget stuff going on up here.
A lot of manpower. I juiced all that juice last night, but I'm getting faster at it though. So I was just telling them earlier, like I need to figure out how to streamline because when I do things, I only want to do them right.
I hear you.
So
That's a lot of limes that you have to
that's a lot of
squeeze in.
limes, especially in New York. Can I tell you, New York versus California produce
Oh yeah.
is so different. Either it's not ripe, like they pick it way early so they can get it over here. And limes, like once you pick limes, they don't continue to ripen off the vine.
Oh yeah, I've noticed that too. Yeah, and sometimes they're like hard as a rock, right?
Hard as a rock.
Yeah.
Or they're like way too ripe, like zucchini I buy here. It's like you can tell it's traveled for a really long time. I'm like, man, that's one thing I miss about California is the produce, because it's all fresh, you know? They have to pick it like 2 days before it gets to our grocery stores in California.
Wow. Yeah, they definitely spoiled you. You're not getting that.
Yeah, so yes, a lot of limes were sacrificed in making that bottle of lime juice.
Good stuff. Good stuff. What do you do with this stuff after the podcast? Where does it go?
In my fridge, we make margaritas all week.
Ooh. I definitely have to come hang out with y'all.
No, a lot of the staff likes to drink margaritas, so I'll make them for helping me.
Okay.
And if I do have leftovers, we'll save it in the fridge and make it at home. I mean, it's fresh squeezed juices, so it's the healthiest way to have a margarita
Oh,
too.
there you go. There you
You just put
go.
a little agave in it, the orange juice, the lime juice, and of course the tequila.
So what made you come up with mortgages and margaritas? Or margaritas and mortgages? I'm saying the opposite.
This is my podcast, not yours. You can't ask me questions.
I have a bad habit of doing that because I'm so used to interviewing people for my podcast.
I'm just kidding. No. So honestly, they were like, you have to start a podcast.
Okay.
You're natural, like start a podcast. And I was like, no, absolutely not. I'm not doing a podcast. And they're like, come on. And I was like, all right, only if I can do Mimosas and Mortgages. And I thought they were gonna say no, like you can't do like a drinking podcast, but it just rhymed because the M's. And they were like, I love it. Let's do Mimosas and Mortgages. And I was like, really? And I was like, okay, but I actually hate mimosas.
You hate mimosas?
I don't hate them, but like if I drink champagne, I like to drink champagne straight, and I really have to be in the mood for champagne. Like margaritas are always gonna sound good to me. And I thought about like drinking champagne every week, and I was like, it's not gonna happen. So I was like, all right, Margaritas and Mortgages. It's much more work than mimosas would be.
Definitely, I can see that.
But I just couldn't do champagne every week. So.
No, this has a better flow to it anyway. I like this.
Thank you.
It's a cool setup.
So what's the name of your podcast?
Strictly Free Game.
Okay.
So
Oh
check
yeah,
out
I
the
did see
Strictly
that.
Free Game podcast.
We'll put the link.
Put the link below. Yeah, I started the podcast in January 2021.
Okay.
Just to interview interesting people in the business.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's been an interesting ride ever since.
Yeah. I do love like hearing someone's whole story of how they got where they have gotten to. It's always super interesting to me. So I'm actually really happy that I did do it.
Yeah.
Because hearing other people's stories always just like amazes me in a lot of cases and just in general interests me. So it's been fun.
Yeah, I can imagine. Like I've seen it. You had some great people in it so far. Nicole Schwartz, that's my girl. Stephanie Callinup, that's my girl.
I was gonna say you better say
And
Stephanie too.
You know I gotta shout out Steph. I think those are the only two I've seen so far. I think.
We have one more coming out.
Okay.
Mike Foley.
Yes, I think I saw like you post a picture of that one.
Yes,
Okay.
so that one's not out yet. Hopefully it'll be out this week.
Okay.
But it's a lot of work.
It is.
As you know.
It is a lot of
So
work.
it's not just showing up and talking, it's the prep for it, it's the getting a guest on, and then, you know, the team has to edit it, of course, and then you have to pick out spots for a highlight, and then you have to pick out a cover photo for the reel. It's a lot of work. It's a lot more work than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying earlier. I was like, okay, I have to figure out how to streamline this process because I guess you can relate now. I mean, you said you're camera shy, but you're already doing a lot.
Yeah.
So you're not that camera shy. I'm called bluff.
That helps you break the ice.
But you're already doing a lot, and don't you feel like nowadays we kind of have, in this industry, we kind of have 10 jobs.
Yeah, 10 is an understatement, yeah.
Like you're not only worrying about your clients anymore. And there's a whole slew of things that we have to, or you're not going to be the best.
Or you're not gonna be the best. And you're trying to be the best at both, right?
Yeah.
The content part of it and whatever pays the bills.
Yeah.
And that's usually the struggle.
That would be cool if we could just get paid for this part.
I wish.
Call us for a loan or a house so we can get paid.
We got you.
So what else are you doing social media wise? Or what have you struggled with social media wise so far? You got the podcast, you're rolling out the newsletter.
Just constantly coming up with content, fresh content.
Yeah.
You don't want to sound too dry, sound too rehearsed. You want it to come off natural.
Yeah.
That's really the only challenge I would say I've had. Once I got into my groove of kind of like being myself and incorporating music, and I got Alexander over here, who's a freaking genius. It's been great, man.
Yeah. So do you know Alexander from like friendships?
No.
Or?
So actually, we just spoke about this. So last year in October, he DM'd me on Facebook. It was like, I see that you're doing content, because I was doing content prior.
And what was it at the time? You like your wife filming it?
No. I actually had a videographer.
Okay.
And he just, we randomly just touched base with each other, and we started from there. So this makes like our 1 year anniversary. Yeah.
Oh, cute.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to Alexander coming into your life.
Now it's like my little brother right there. I say my little brother because he's younger than me, but that's
you're old?
my guy. I'm old.
I'm joking.
No, you're not joking. I'm old. I'm getting there.
Well, I don't know how old you are, but
I'll be 41 in January.
okay.
Yeah.
You're not old.
I'm not old. Seasoned.
But you're middle-aged.
Seasoned. I'm enjoying the ride of getting older though.
Yeah.
I'm definitely enjoying it.
Yeah. It seems like when we went to lunch the other day, like it seemed that way.
Yeah.
Like you're really present in your moment.
Yes.
Right now.
Yes.
And that's awesome to see because we're all like, a lot of us are in our mind 10 steps ahead. And it's, you know, enjoying the journey. That's so important, but so tough at
It's so tough.
times.
It's tough, yeah.
Like, I'm gonna look back at this podcast one day and be like, that was so much fun. And then in the morning when I'm running around to like get it all ready, I'm like, fuck this, fuck this podcast, you know?
I know that feeling. Listen, it's like you said, it's being present, living in the moment. You get this calmness about yourself as you get older.
Yeah.
Like nothing like affects you that shouldn't affect you.
Yeah.
And that's the journey that I'm loving with this whole process right now.
Yeah.
Especially
Well, I
when it comes to
assume
the
too,
content.
like, you know, I'm not as old as you, so I'm assuming. You just don't care as much of what other people think.
No.
And I'm honestly already realizing that through the past couple of years. I just turned 30, so now I'm officially in my 30s.
Now you're officially in your 30s.
And I think you just, you know a little bit more who you are.
Yeah.
And what your intentions are and what how your heart is. So it's easier to not worry so much about what people think.
Totally.
Obviously, we all still do, right?
Not as you get older. I don't. As long as my wife and kids are fine.
Yeah. But you would be, I mean, you're saying you wouldn't be like kind of upset if someone thought you were like a bad guy or someone thought you were untrustworthy or someone thought you were an asshole.
You know what? You can't change that. You can't change people's opinions of it,
True.
right? As long as you know that you're living in the right path and you're not that,
Yeah.
it doesn't affect me. I know I put my heart into everything and I treat people a certain way.
Yeah.
Hence why my business has thrived off of referrals because they become family and family refers family. And you know, I went to a wedding 3 weeks ago and the bride stopped at the wedding and introduced me to people like, this is the guy that sold me my house.
Oh, that's so sweet.
They actually got married in the backyard.
Oh,
of that
really?
house. Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah. So then,
Did you officiate the wedding too?
I was this close to.
Really?
No. I wish I could. But yeah, things like that. As far as other people's opinions, it doesn't affect me.
You should put that in your bio. We'll sell you your first home and officiate your wedding.
And officiate your wedding. Business would be booming.
Maybe.
We can get you for the margaritas at the bar.
I'll bartend the wedding.
Business out of it.
I miss the service industry as well.
Do you?
It's fun. Yeah, it's a good time. Because you're doing this. You're talking to people, you're getting to know people. And unlike you, they tip me.
Yeah, there you go.
No, I'm joking. But it is a good time. So, I mean, I was talking to Nicole Schwartz about it as well when she was on. And she said she went back to the service industry for like 3 weeks when she first started. And she quit. Yeah, she lasted 3 weeks. And I was like, yeah, that would probably, I say I miss it, but that would probably be me
Yeah, it would
too.
drive you crazy at this point.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about your business a little bit.
Okay.
So what has been your key to success, you think?
Content.
Okay.
Content. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Since the day I started, well, not the day. It took me like 3-4 months to get the ball rolling with the content, but after it took off, and I started to put my own twist to it. People started to notice it, and notice like, hey, this guy's relatable.
Yeah.
I could really relate to this guy, and that's taking my business to a whole nother level.
So is it people from your content that are coming to you that already knew you and then seeing your content, or is it people like strangers?
It's a mix of both.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a mix of both. It's not a 50-50 mix. I'll probably say it's like a 70-30. People that 70% know me already, 30% that are just coming over.
Yeah.
But that 30 is growing. It's
Yeah.
definitely growing, yeah.
That's
Especially
awesome.
I'm getting a lot from Facebook now and Instagram.
A lot of people say Facebook because I think a lot of people in the buying that are ready to buy are an older generation.
Yeah.
So most of them are on Facebook instead of Instagram.
Well, and Facebook is not, Instagram is more scroll. You're just scrolling. Facebook, they're kind of paying attention to what you post in a way.
Yeah.
And if you implement family, dogs, like your hobbies, they'll pay attention to it. I've been going to meetings where people are like, oh, you didn't bring the kids with you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
But when I went to
awesome.
lunch with you, I brought my daughter with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's adorable.
Thank you.
So I feel like it's with us as loan officers, it's a little bit, I don't know, maybe it's just in my head, but it's a little bit tougher because you want to incorporate your personal life because of what you just said, right? You want people go on social media and trust you because they like you.
Correct.
And the only way for them to do that is if you're sharing yourself. But it's so funny because I know as a real estate agent, you're purchasing someone a house or you're selling their home. But as a loan officer, it's their finances. And it's super personal, and people are really weird about their finances.
I get it.
So it's like a weird, you want to like share things that make you you, but it's almost like you have to maintain this like.
You have to mask it in a way.
You have to mask it in a way to maintain this professionalism.
Yeah.
You know, so it's a little bit tricky because I don't want someone to. I'm smart. You know, I have a college degree. I've been educated. I have a lot of experience. But you know, if you saw me in real life, you might not think I'm that smart.
We know you're smart. Where'd you go to college for?
Well, I started at UC Santa Barbara.
Okay.
And I went to college. I started in economics, and then I switched over to math. So I was a math major. And then my dad actually had a really bad stroke when I was done with my junior year.
Okay.
So he was in a coma for like 6 weeks, and he wasn't supposed to survive it. And when he woke up, he woke up a few times, like only speaking in Korean, one time acting like a crazy person. Like there was all these stages of the brain recovering. So it was a long road. Luckily he's doing great, but I actually ended up moving home because of it.
Okay.
And then I went back to community college because you can't transfer from a UC to a Cal State.
Oh, really?
Well, you can if you just so happen to take the Cal State credits that you need to transfer, but there was weird things like you need this, like it's called like the Golden Four or something, these 4 classes that you don't have to take at UCSB to graduate, but you have to take it to transfer to a Cal State. So I had to go back to community college, take those classes, apply for Cal States, get in there, and then I finished at Cal Poly Pomona with a degree in business, finance, real estate, and law.
Oh, so real estate was one of your minors? Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, it's business real estate, business finance, and business law classes.
Now, going back, would you go through that whole college step again, or would you just go straight to mortgages?
You know what? I don't know. I ask myself that question all the time because me and my brother both graduated college. He sells commercial real estate. I do mortgages. Neither of them you need a college degree for. I will say my degree, because it was business finance and business real estate, it did teach me a lot because I was doing a lot of like amortization schedules. So like going into mortgages, I was like, I know this stuff, you know, where people that I was working with couldn't understand like why the payment was the way it was, or like, you know, things like that, or recoup periods and stuff like that. So I could understand a lot more, but it took me a really long time because I had to go through all of that. At the same time, it was just something I had to prove to myself. That it was just like something I started, I had to finish it. You know, and I knew that later down the road I was never gonna go back if I didn't do it then. So it was just, I'm glad I have it, yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Do I need it?
Yeah, I went one semester and I was like, yeah, I'm not doing this.
So you didn't go straight into real estate though?
No, it took me a while. After high school, I didn't start real estate till maybe almost 10 years after. Yeah. Okay.
And what got you into real estate?
I Googled how could you make $100,000 without a college degree, and real estate popped up. I was like, oh, let me try that. And also I was looking at a lot of HGTV and.
Okay, let's talk about your first deal ever.
My first deal ever.
Where did it come from? Who was it?
Who was my first deal?
You don't remember this?
I don't remember my first deal. My first 2 years were like a disaster in real estate. So I probably wanted to get rid of that part of my life. I'm going to say it was a rental. I think it was a rental for a friend.
Okay. Oh, sorry.
No problem. That was my first deal, and that one was a mess because I had no idea what I was doing. The brokerage that I went to, he was more on the sales side as well, so he really couldn't teach you how to, do anything.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I bumped into that agent that helped me with that first rental deal like 3 years ago. No, during the pandemic actually.
Okay.
And she was like, do you remember when you came to my office and it was the paperwork you had was just a mess and I had to sit through it with you? And I was like, yeah, I do remember that. Yeah.
Really? Is that hard for a rental?
No, but I had no idea what I was doing.
Isn't it just an application?
Maybe.
And I'm like, so we were looking at apartments. So we moved here during the pandemic. Well, like shortly after. And there was no broker's fees.
Oh, yeah.
And I never rented an apartment here, so I didn't know that there was broker's fees ever. And so we were looking to possibly move to a new neighborhood, and every place wanted like a $3,000 broker's fee.
Yeah.
And I was like, you're joking, right? To show me this apartment? Like, this is insane. So, yeah, that's insane.
No, yeah, it was bad. That was my first deal. Yeah.
But I feel like too, that's why it's hard for, like, I want to be in the boroughs more just because that's where I live. So I'd love to get in that market more, but a lot of real estate agents really only do rentals out there.
It's faster money for them.
Yeah, of course.
It's a
Yeah.
quicker,
So it's hard to find the real estate agents that are actually doing sales transactions because that's all they need me for. You don't need a loan to rent.
Yeah,
So.
most of them have probably been in the business forever.
Yeah.
They have their own, systems, the way they work, and, they usually don't let new people in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we are going to get in.
We're gonna get it. I've been tiptoeing into the boroughs, Brooklyn, Queens. I haven't done anything in the Bronx yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why not?
I don't know. Just hasn't happened yet.
Okay. I feel like that's going to be a huge market.
The Bronx, yeah.
They're building a lot there, right?
Yeah.
I don't go up there too much, but I've heard that
From
it's going to
agents
be
that
one of
I
the.
know that are working out there, they're saying it's definitely turning.
Well, I've even heard like Harlem and stuff too. They're growing a lot there. Yes.
Yeah. Well, Harlem been switched around a long time ago.
Okay.
Yeah. Harlem started before Brooklyn. Like when it comes
Oh,
to
really?
Yeah.
Okay. So then I just misheard, but I thought it was like very new, like really starting to build there.
Not that I know of. I could be wrong.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see.
We got to do some business out there.
We have to do some business soon. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
We're putting it out there. We're putting it in the air. It's going to happen.
So now, how do you feel like, okay, so I feel like a lot of social media, a lot of us that are in the industry out here, all of our followers are other people in the industry.
For the most part, yeah.
It's not really other clients. So how are you trying to, so for me too, specifically, I can do loans in a lot of states as well. So I want to grasp the market and have consumers coming to me. I love my real estate agents, but I don't want to depend on you.
No.
You know?
No, you shouldn't.
So if I can reach people through social media, even in other states, and have them come straight to me first,
That's a beautiful thing.
that's how it should be anyways. You know, you have to get a pre-approval before you go to look at houses anyways. That would be great.
Yeah.
But how do you feel like you've tried to do that?
As far as to get new clients, you mean? Like just to get in front of new clients?
Yeah. Have people following you on social media that are new clients or just not in the industry in general?
I usually get that from like previous stuff. If I close a deal with a client, I usually do like a lot of like videos with them now. They'll post their videos and their friends will start following, and then I'll get a DM. Hey, I've been looking to, learn a lot about real estate. I'm looking to, purchase, blah, blah, blah. So that's how it initially starts. And I also pour into my past clients a lot. I do like client appreciation parties.
I saw I saw a post about a client appreciation dinner that you did.
Yeah, and I got a
Sweet.
referral from that the next week.
Oh, really? Okay.
The house.
So the dinner was worth
Listen,
it.
yeah, of course. Yeah, from that seller, I got another referral from when I listed her house, one of her friends.
Okay.
So that's just usually how it works for the most part.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All word of mouth.
all word of mouth.
So let me ask you 2 more questions.
Only 2?
2.
All right.
What would you say the absolute hardest part of your job is?
Dealing with different personalities. But that's the service industry, right?
The service industry, yeah.
It's the gift and the curse of the business.
Yeah, you gotta be a chameleon.
You have to be a chameleon, a psychiatrist, a babysitter sometimes. Sometimes they bring the kids, you gotta watch the kids while they're looking around the house. Like, that's usually the hardest part, just dealing with the different personalities.
Yeah.
Yeah, try to make everyone happy at the same time.
I was on the phone the other day with a client and someone was in the office to see me and I was like, oh, come in, I'm just on the phone. And then I got the phone, they're like, I didn't know you were a therapist too. I was like, hey, whatever they need.
Whatever they need, we have to do it.
Okay, so my second question is, would you want your daughters, now that you have 2 daughters, to become real estate agents?
I would.
Okay.
I would. I think it's a great business for someone to get into that there's no ceiling.
Yeah.
That's why I love it. You can take it in any direction, especially now with everything going on with these cameras, that you can take it you can become an influencer.
Yeah.
And technically you don't even have to sell real estate. You can just sell information.
There's a lot of people doing that. It's crazy.
It's crazy. Yeah. So definitely, yeah. I mean, I would want them to go to school, but if they didn't want to, if that wasn't their path, I wouldn't force it.
So you're gonna push it a little bit, but if you're not gonna force it.
I'm not gonna force it. I'm not
Yeah.
letting them do student loans either. So mommy and daddy have to pay for it.
Why? They're all gonna get forgiven.
I'm hoping my one semester gets forgiven.
Okay, actually, I do have one more question.
Okay, I knew it wasn't just.
I know, I'm sorry. So what would be your advice to someone new, let's just say someone doesn't have anything. They're starting from the ground up. They've only ever made, let's say $35,000 a year.
Okay.
What would be your biggest piece of advice for them?
Content. That's the easiest thing right now. I'm not a cold caller, door knocker, because I just don't like people doing that to me. I think content and forming your own small groups. I actually have an agent that asked me the same question a few weeks ago, and she's a mom. Like, she's a great mom. She has 3 kids, 3 or 4 kids, but her kids are in sports. They're in all of these activities, and I said,
she has a whole circle of
influence. They have a whole circle. I'm like, everyone should know that you do real estate.
Yeah.
Don't be annoying with it, but they should know something, and that's honestly to collect
She
emails.
should get an easy up with her logo on it, bring it to the soccer game.
And you're gonna start a conversation with someone,
Yeah.
right? And then that's how it snowballs.
Yeah.
That's the way I look at it. Get emails, and collect telephone numbers, and just stay in front of people.
Good advice. Well, I finished my margarita.
I actually have showings after this.
Oh, okay. Good excuse. My 9 out of 10 margarita.
Yeah.
It looks like a 4.
No, you know what? Now, cheers.
Cheers. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me. This is
appreciate
amazing.
it.
There's some outtakes on the coaster.
Yeah. Let's do some major business. We got, what, 3 months left?
3 months left. I'm already in Q1.
All right. I like it. I like it. Cheers to that. Q1.
I have a question for you.
Okay.
How's the market right now, mortgage-wise?
You know what? It's tough because it's a little disheartening, just because you always want to qualify someone for a home, and it's not even about the commission or the money you're going to make on it. I hate telling people you can't buy a home right now, or like you need to make more money. And they're like, what am I supposed to do? And it's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously I walk them through what I can and help them along the way, but there's only so much you can do. So it's a little disheartening right now. You make $80,000 a year, it's going to be a little tough for you to buy a house, or you're going to have to start with something much smaller than what you imagined.
Yeah.
So, we're going with ebbs and flows. We're getting creative. There's a lot of programs we offer, so that's been a blessing, and then just working directly with the real estate agents that I work with. Like, hey, this is the situation. This is exactly why we're on the edge here. We're totally fine here, but this is something we need to worry about.
Okay.
We can offer this with these kind of seller's concessions. Or we can, only go up to this amount in property taxes.
Gotcha.
And really making it clear so they can also be equipped to find them a home that will work for the loan as well. So yeah. It's been tough. It's not been easy, but we'll get through it.
We get through it. The tough ones always get through the tough times.
Exactly. Well, thanks again for coming.
Thanks for having me.
I appreciate it.
This is amazing.
Shawn Waller, everyone.
Thank you.